Hello, I'm Raisa Chantami of the Indonesia channel at the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta. Welcome to ASEAN Today, your weekly look at the dynamic Southeast Asia region. The latest natural disaster to hit Indonesia gave a short warning to its victims. A tsunami was triggered by an undersea landslide on December 22nd, killing more than 400 people, mainly on the southwest coast of Java Island. Experts say the eruption of the Anak Krakatau volcano caused the underwater landslides. 1,400 people were hurt, with houses, hotels, and ships destroyed in the districts of Pandeglang, Serang, and Lampung. Then just a week later, another landslide left dozens dead in Indonesia's West Java province. At least 32 people were killed and more hurt by the landslide on December 31st. A mountain of earth plunged down just before sunset and buried 30 homes in Sernarismi village in West Java's Sukabumi district. Those who lost their homes were forced to move to a temporary shelter. The new year brought a tropical storm to southern Thailand with devastating winds. Tropical storm Pabuk made landfall on January 4th and brought heavy rain, mudslides, and flash floods to the region. The storm drove thousands of people out of their homes, with many seeking refuge at temporary shelters. The Samui International Airport on the island of Koh Samui took several days to return to normal operations. 3 people died as a result of this severe weather. ASEAN leaders and Asian partners gathered in Laos for the 4th Lanchang Mekong meetings. Foreign ministers opened the LMC forum in Luang Prabang on December 17th. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi and his 5 counterparts from Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam reviewed the group's 5-year action plan signed in 2018. Participants discussed the future direction for sustainable development in the Mekong River sub-region. We'll hear directly from event participants shortly in our Hot Seat segment. Online transportation applications are revolutionizing Indonesia's transportation industry. They provide convenience and cost savings to commuters while creating an abundance of new jobs. Indonesia's most popular online platform has been Grab, founded back in 2012. The Singapore-based company says Indonesia is its largest market in Southeast Asia, catering to more than 100 cities across the archipelago.
So far, it has helped me to provide extra income for my husband and children. I'm hoping the government can strengthen regulations, especially for women drivers like myself, by providing us with better incentives and benefits.
Lebih bagus lagi.
Indonesia has been at the forefront of growth when it comes to online transportation developments, mainly thanks to homegrown companies such as Gojek. The motorbike taxi opened for business in 2011 and has significantly expanded its operations by introducing its app across the region in Singapore and Vietnam. The industry is expected to grow substantially. In Indonesia alone, market revenue is projected to rise from $800,000 in 2015 to more than $5 billion by 2025. This rapid growth parallels the huge rise of smartphone users in big cities like Jakarta and smaller provinces across the country. But with growth comes consequences. Experts are urging the government to set out proper rules and regulations to protect riders and drivers in a competitive market.
When it comes to the regulating the fares and also making like insurance and everything, the government cannot do that. So this is basically what the drivers have been really pushing the government to do. They've been asking for like rate recommendation. I mean, like for the four-wheelers one, actually quite better because taxi is pretty much in the legal term in the current legislation.
Indonesia's Gojek processes more than 100 million transactions for its 20 million monthly users. More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly. The vision of countries along the Mekong River, next. watching ASEAN Today. I'm Raisa Chantami in Jakarta. Ministers from the 6 countries that border the Mekong River met in Laos on December 17th to reaffirm their mission to assist in maintaining an open world economy. Here are highlights from the Lanchang Mekong Cooperation Forum.
南美合作从培育期迈入成长期的关键阶段举行。这次会议旨在落实第2次领导人会议所取得的成果，规划南美合作的下一步发展，并且为第3次的领导人会议来预做准备。我们共同回顾了1年来南美合作取得的积极进展，一致认为南美合作快速发展，成果显著。
On the future direction, the ministers agreed to promote greater cooperation in new area and new initiative for mutual benefit and shared prosperity, including high-quality production capacity cooperation. The MLC Economic Development Belt.
The LMC group was formally established in 2016. The 6 member countries are China, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Thailand. More ASEAN Today is coming up shortly. Spotlighting the migrant experience in Singapore. That's ahead. This is ASEAN Today, coming to you from Jakarta, home of the ASEAN Secretariat. Those who run orphanages in Thailand are being hurt by scams that involve using children for tourist attractions. But operators are working hard to win back the public's trust, as ASEAN Today's Fawzul Azim reports.
Orphanage tourism is growing in destinations including Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Nepal, where people travel on their holidays to help others. But experts say this trend actually increases the number of orphans and causes unnecessary separation of children from their families. That's the result of unscrupulous groups luring children to orphanages and putting them on display to entice cash donations from visitors. Surachai Sukeo is the director of Ban No Komin Foundation. He says authorities are fully aware of the country's serious orphanage trafficking problem. He says he has witnessed children kidnapped from the streets and forced to work as beggars or worse.
Yes, some orphanages use children just to get money, but there are worse cases, bad people who break children's arms and legs to make them look more appealing when they send them out begging. I would say don't give money to children or you may be helping mafia gangs.
To reach out to the children legitimately seeking food and shelter, Sukeo started his foundation to offer homes to former street children abandoned by their parents, along with runaways and youngsters whose families simply couldn't support them. Like many orphanages, Sukeo's foundation relies on donations to remain open. Without the charity funds, children would be subject to abuse, drugs, and sexual exploitation.
It's just like you using the children, vulnerable children, to raise funds, which is unethical in our opinion. And the children should not be, in those kind of orphanages.
Catherine Chak says some of the children in orphanages actually have a parent who could look after them, but often they are sent to institutions by poor families in the hope they'll receive a better start in life. Sukeo pledges that his orphanage works to ensure that no children is exploited and is open to independent inspection at any time. Regaining the trust of visiting donors is the immediate challenge ahead. Fawzul Azim for ASEAN Today.
Here are several events on the ASEAN calendar. The Panak Benga Festival 2019 will run from February 1st to March 10th in Baguio City in the Philippines. The Chingay Parade will be held from February 15th and 16th in Singapore. And the Barupa Bike Week is set to roll from February 14th to the 16th in Pattaya, Thailand. Singapore held its first ever festival to celebrate those who come from near and far to seek new lives. ASEAN Today's Wendy Widiantini has the story.
The first ever Global Migrant Festival held in Singapore on December 16th gathered migrants from within Singapore and from more than 20 other countries and regions to share their stories. This event was aimed to give migrant workers and refugees a platform to highlight their journeys through art. Activities included a wide variety of film screenings, cultural performances, theater, music, and panel discussions. One storyteller was Joan Santilana Murao. She's a foreign domestic worker in Malaysia and shared her emotional history of leaving her home and family through her poem Far Away.
For me, this is a very great kind of event. It's because we can, migrants or even a refugee, can showcase their talent.
About 10% of Singapore's populations are transient migrant workers, mostly construction workers and domestic helpers. Some of them have lived in the island country for many years, but their talents and their dreams are often unknown to locals. Shifa Jidas has been working to give a voice to these workers and refugees for several years. As the artistic director of the festival, he is aware that migration is a challenging and complex theme in the current global environment. He believes festivals like these are an important first step towards allowing society to get to know the migrants through new lenses.
It always used to be NGOs or other international bodies which used to talk on behalf of them, and often these stories don't have that power if that is not coming directly from the migrants and refugees. So that's the whole idea of getting this platform for them directly to interact with the wider population.
The finals of a special competition was also held as part of this festival. Since its debut in 2014, a poetry event has developed into an important program for migrant workers in Singapore. Among the audience are fellow migrant workers, along with local Singaporeans and expats who usually have little social interaction with migrants. Having received a positive response in its first year, organizers are now looking to move the festival to different locations across the world. The global goal is that more migrants are inspired to step forwards and tell their own stories for the benefit of all. Wendy Widiantini for ASEAN Today.
We like hearing from you throughout the ASEAN region and the world. All of our episodes are posted on YouTube, so check us out there if you can't find us on your local TV channel. Then let us know what you're thinking about or what you want to see on the program. Email us at ASEANTodayTV@gmail.com, post something on our Facebook page, or tweet us at ASEANTodayTV. Malaysia held a special birthday party for a special guest. This baby panda turned 1 year old on January 14th, and Malaysia's National Zoo celebrated. The cub is the second offspring to panda parents Xing Xing and Liang Liang, on loan from China for 10 years. The youngster left the nursery at the age of 8 months and has lived alongside her mother ever since. She's said to be in good health, though a little bit quieter than her elder sister, Nuan Nuan. She still has no name, but fans affectionately call her Baby Panda. And that's ASEAN Today for this week. I'm Raisa Chantami of the Indonesia channel in Jakarta. Terima kasih. Please join us again next time.